Welcome back to Auto Car, where we dive into the wheels of the past, the present, and sometimes, the timeless. Today, we're not just talking about any car, we're stepping into a piece of history. This is the 1973 Volkswagen Beetle. A car that didn't just transport people, it moved generations, it carried cultures, and it told stories on four wheels. As the Beetle pulls up and the engine purrs to a stop, let's take a moment to appreciate the design that refuses to fade. By 1973, the VW Beetle was already a global icon. First born in pre-World War II Germany, it was designed by Ferdinand Porsche under orders from Adolf Hitler, intended to be the people's car, affordable, simple, reliable. And while that origin is complex, what the Beetle became is something else entirely. In post-war decades, it turned into a symbol of peace, rebellion, minimalism, and yes, absolute charm. Now, in 1973, Volkswagen decided it was time for some changes, while keeping the soul of the Beetle intact. This model year brought both subtle and significant upgrades, and today, we're going to dive into all of them. Buckle up. Let's talk design first. At a glance, it's still unmistakably Beetle, the rounded fenders, the bug-like curves, the compact stance. But look closer, and you'll notice the bumpers. For 1973, Volkswagen had to comply with new US safety standards, which meant beefier bumpers with impact-absorbing mounts. It gives the car a slightly more robust appearance without taking away from its cuteness. Those rubber bumper guards, not just aesthetic, they were meant to absorb low-speed impact. Practical and still pretty. Another key change, the introduction of a curved windshield. Before, 73, the Beetle had a flat windshield, functional, but not exactly stylish. With this new curve, the interior got roomier, and outward visibility improved. It's a subtle design evolution that actually enhanced the driving experience more than people expected. Now, under the hood, or rather, under the rear engine lid, beats the heart of the 1973 Beetle, the air-cooled, rear-mounted flat-4 engine. In most models that year, you got a 1,600cc engine producing about 60 horsepower. Sure, by today's standards that sounds like a lawn-mower, but the Beetle's magic was never in speed, it was in how it felt. The engine tone is distinct, the sort of throaty growl that's more endearing than aggressive. It's part of the Beetle's personality. It's like driving a happy puppy. Paired with a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Beetle gives you the tactile driving experience, hands on the wheel, feet dancing over the pedals, and a gearbox that rewards rhythm more than aggression. It's not a fast car. But it is a fun car. And when you're behind the wheel, you don't want to be fast, you want to be present. You want to enjoy the road, wave at other Beetle drivers, and just vibe. Let's step inside. The 1973 model saw a major upgrade in the form of the Super Beetle. That version came with a redesigned front suspension, McPherson struts, which allowed for a smoother ride and a slightly larger front trunk. If you've ever had the pleasure of owning an older Beetle, you know trunk space wasn't exactly its strength. With the Super Beetle, you get a bit more room to stash your groceries or your weekend getaway gear. The dashboard also got a revamp. It's a padded design now, better for safety and aesthetics. The speedometer is front and center, with a fuel gauge, finally, integrated inside the main cluster. Before this, earlier Beetles had a separate fuel gauge or even just a manual fuel reserve tap, which was charming in its own frustrating way. The steering wheel is thin and simple, with the classic VW emblem staring back at you. And let's talk seats. The 73 Beetle came with upgraded seating, high-backed front seats with integrated headrests. Not only more comfortable, but also safer. The upholstery options were also more varied, with Volkswagen offering everything from cloth to faux leather, in colors that reflected the groovy 70s vibe. Driving this car is a unique experience. It's not about 0 to 60. It's not about horsepower wars. It's about the feeling. About being part of something bigger than just a commute. The Beetle has always had this uncanny ability to bring people together. You'll find that when you park this car, people come up to you. They'll tell you stories about the Beetle they had, or their parents had, or the one they went cross-country in during the summer of love. It connects across age, language, and culture. And mechanically, these cars are simple, tough, and endlessly repairable. The engine is air-cooled, which means no radiator, no coolant, no overheating in the traditional sense. You can literally pull the engine with a few tools and a friend, and rebuild it in a weekend. It's part of the reason why Beetles are still running strong across the world today, over 50 years after their heyday. In 1973, over 1.2 million Beetles were produced worldwide. That's not just a sales figure, it's a legacy. It means millions of stories, millions of lives touched by this humble car. And even today, people restore, customize, and cherish these machines. From Baja bugs to German-look customs to Concours quality restorations, the Beetle is a blank canvas that encourages creativity. So, who is this car for today? If you're looking for a weekend cruiser that makes you smile, a project car with soul, or even just a conversation starter that fits in your garage, the 1973 VW Beetle is a solid choice. It's not going to win drag races, but it will win hearts. Prices for well-kept models are rising, especially for rust-free examples. But even if you start with a rough one, the availability of parts and the massive enthusiast community mean you'll never be short on help, advice, or inspiration. So there you have it, the 1973 Volkswagen Beetle. A car that evolved just enough to meet the needs of the time, without losing the spirit that made it a legend. Whether it's your first classic car or your 10th, the Beetle reminds us that sometimes, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. If you enjoyed this ride down memory lane, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming reviews and restorations. Let us know in the comments, do you have a Beetle story? Or maybe you're planning to pick one up. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching Auto Car, where passion meets pavement. Until next time, keep the wheels turning and the stories alive. Closing shot. The Beetle drives off into the sunset, its silhouette framed by golden light.